Alrighty, so welcome to another Sunday breakdown. You already know what time it is. Your boy Drewize Banks, and yeah, we here. So as you guys all been knowing, I've been doing a account build, right? And this is actually week 3 of the account build. Just want to kind of give you a pre-update before we jump into things. And as you guys can see, I am currently 67K up. It's week 3 now, and we're going to see why I can build it this week. This Sunday breakdown is actually going to dictate the same trades that I take. And just keep in mind, all the trades that I take, you can get them for free in my Discord. So hit the link in the bio if you want to go ahead and join and get some free signals. With that being said, let's jump into the land of the charts. Keep in mind, it's just the analysis for this week. All right, cool. Let's jump right into it. Alrighty, let me cut on a little music. All right, so as you guys can primarily see, this is GJ, we're on the monthly time frame as I always start. Now the monthly time frame is hella important just because it kind of gives us that main trend. We can kind of see based on where we are within trend that obviously we're in a overall, and when I say overall, we're in an overall uptrend, right? That means that higher lows and higher highs are being maintained. But now we actually got our first higher low area that looks around here. So overall, if we were supposed to kind of look at see where we are on this fib level, it would be somewhere like around right here, right? With the 38.2 area to kind of reject. So what I'm anticipating, right, is from here, we're going to get some type of interaction this week to kind of do like this. But let's just kind of see. Let's not kind of jump into anything yet. This is the monthly time frame, so we do want to kind of see weekly, right? Ooh, a lot of gems on this one, right? So we can clearly see here that every eclipse that you see is going to signify a market structure area. Now, ideally, from this area right here, right, we had like a lot of 23.6s and, you know, obviously price try to push up some more. So from here on this weekly standpoint, we're in the area of the golden zones where we have hella support. Now I can see the move pulling back some more to kind of go up, but we still kind of want to see some more details. So we're going to kind of change it to the the daily. Right now from the daily, this is where everything's probably going to make the most sense. I'm going to kind of remove some of this data. Now, based on the eclipses, I can already tell that on this time frame, this was the last market structure area that we needed, and that based on where we're at, we are right here, right? So we got a 78.6 respecting already, and we can see that these low points down here, they're kind of getting higher. So what I'm anticipating, right, is price can either come back down to this zone right here, or this area, and drop some more, but we still got some more details to look at. Now, if you guys do know, when price kind of drops from zone to zone, right, I kind of look at zone to zone as kind of almost like a pinball effect, right? Almost like a pinball effect. If it drops into this price of zone right here, it's supposed to come into this area and find some area of support to kind of push back up. So let's just see. Now, me kind of looking at it and kind of seeing the details and everywhere where we're at with this at this moment in time, I can already tell that based on where we are, right, that we have an area of support that may be held from right here, from where buyers kind of took over, but we're not 100% sure yet, right? The higher time frame fib is holding as far as we're at this 78.6 level, but who's to know if we don't drop into this main zone down here? So we got to kind of go down lower. Looking at the 11 hour, I don't really see any details that are significant besides this zone that I have in here that can be used as an area of supply and demand, right? Now, theoretically, if I was supposed to shape this to this time frame, it would look something along the lines of this, and then I would stretch it from left to right. Almost like, trying to get in there. Almost like that. So just kind of looking at the details, right? But as far as for structure goes on this area that we're at in particular right now, right? Like price kind of came, we made this first lower high, we broke, we continued the main trend, we retested, right? Kind of ranged a little bit, we kind of were maintaining, and then all right, then we kind of dropped, retest back to the same area, and then we really kind of picked back up the trend and kind of came to where we are now. So me kind of seeing this, I'm going to change this first of all to this color in white, so it kind of pops out a little bit, and then I kind of want to see what areas of supply and demand that I have the most confluence. So looking at it from here, this area that was broken and then retested, I was supposed to measure this on a smaller time frame. Yep, 23.6 was just as I thought. So ideally, we're still kind of settling at 38.2, which is good. And then we could see that we have some seller's exhaustion right here. Seller's exhaustion is going to be really, really good for us, right? So kind of going lower, we can kind of just look at the details from here even more and more. I can see that this was the main break right here. So we could even potentially drop down a little bit lower, but let's just see. 5 hour. Now, what I'm looking for is just something significant to the trend. I can see that we made a retest right here on this 5 hour time frame. Keep in mind that when you have multiple time frames, these time frames are used to kind of help you analyze where you are within the move. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm seeing where I am within the move. I'm looking at these support and resistance areas, and I can see on this time frame in particular, we kind of broke, kept it going, broke, kept it going, broke, kept it going. Now, all I'm looking for when I do this is to just match it up with my fib levels as far as for this low point down here, right? I'm trying to match it up with this low point, and I'm trying to see if I have anything significant to structure. So ideally not on this time frame, I'm seeing that I have anything significant to structure. So it'd still be the same higher time frame picture, right? We're gonna go down lower to like the 3 hour. Now, the 3 hour, I can see that right here, I have an actual higher high that was in this area that we broke at, which is good for me, right? Now, the lowest time frame that you wanna go when you do this is gonna be your 1 hour time frame. So because I already have my supply and my demand zones kind of marked up, and keep in mind, each one is color coordinated, right? Like on the monthly, it's gray. On the weekly, it's blue. On the daily, it's red, right? See, all these red zones are for the daily. And then anything you see in black is like used as support and resistance. So I believe we're on the 3 hour, right? Where I saw this little break right here. And all I want to do is just make sure I'm on point with market structure. See right here, lower high, we got that retest, low, high, we came, we pulled back, then we came down here, then boom. Now, ideally what I'm looking at is this first break, did I get some formality of market structure? That's almost the biggest question that you want to ask. And to kind of alleviate all this data that I see, we're gonna make sure this fib is visible for only the higher time frame, so that way I don't kind of look at that and try to compare the data. Much cleaner. All right, so looking at it from here now, watch this. On this time frame in particular, the 3 hour, we have a wick that hit 38.2, so I think we need to be using the data from the 1 hour. Now, if I do this, I have a little bit more details that I can go off of. So the 1 hour should be your lowest time frame that you're doing digesting these details on. So let's just kind of see. All right, so I can see here we got a bit of a range. Right, we made a low, we came, boom, we retested this whole area. I'm not worried about the minor moves, just worried about the majors. Right, we came, boom, boom, boom. Right, then we came, then boom, then we broke right here. And then this is where all the main swings started to come in. So the reason why you want to kind of get these details down to the science like this is because you need to figure out where you are within structure, right? So we can see here, if I'm looking at this correctly, oh, I got a little minor move before that. So this is actually the low point right here. So I can see, okay, now it's starting to line up. All right, cool. So we got that area. That's a market structure area, hence the eclipse. And just remember, guys, you're going from your swing low wick to your swing high wick. Okay, 70.50, that's a market structure area. 38.2, that's a market structure area. So now, in me doing this, I'm seeing where I am within the trend, right? From higher high to higher low, 38.2. But now I kind of get a sense of where the market's gonna go for this retest area. So I could see here that we're in between two zones and we already started to bottom out. Ideally, what I want to go ahead and drop is I want to drop these area support that's in this area, which is the 190 flat. Wait, yep, the 190 flat, which is right around here. We're gonna go ahead and punch in those coordinates so we're on point. Bam. So now that's the overall area of support. We're gonna drop one more. That's gonna be around the 189,500 area. This is just in case that move kind of goes down lower. We have a next area of support, so we're gonna do 189,500, right? Institution level. So all right, cool. Now I'm looking that we're in the area of this area right here. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because I can already see, based on where we are within price and everything, that this area was an area of support and resistance overall. So if we were supposed to drop, this would probably be not the lowest point, but a low point that this market can actually drop to. So me kind of seeing that and seeing that I have the 38.2 there as the area of support just makes me kind of a little bit more reassured. So now what I'm gonna do from here is I'm just gonna see where we are within structure. Obviously 50% of market structure area. We're gonna eclipse it. So now you're trying to ask yourself, at what point do we stop, right? Because I could continue doing this all day, all night, and we're gonna continue to get structure as we go up. I feel like we're gonna go up to like a 3-hour time frame, right? And the reason why I chose 3 and not the 2, right? I chose the 3-hour just because it's higher, right? And the higher the time frame, the stronger the data. Now you can see market structure essentially still is the same. I can pick it up from here, right? And now, because of this, what we're gonna do based on our eclipse and our structure that we already have drawn, we're gonna measure from here, right? Because that was the area of the break. We're still gonna get 23. We're still gonna get a 23. So we can see that the market was moving in 23s. So we're aware of where we are higher time frame wise, right? We can see that we clearly broke this area of structure right here, which matters, with this push up. So we know where we are. We can see that we're in alignment for a golden zone retest, followed by the exhaustion. So ideally, right, because we're already starting to reject, let's go back down to the 2-hour now. Now, based on this higher time frame fib and this being where we kind of are, we can see what kind of covers the range of our overall area based off of structure. Not only that, but there's also a trend line that we can draw. Now, the only thing is, if I draw this trend line, we won't have a point B quite yet. We'd be making the point B. So the ideal is to see where we're gonna get this point B at based on supply and demand. So I feel like the trend line would be kind of pointless, right? Unless I go higher time frame, which there's not one higher time frame. So I feel like we actually are making the first market structure position for the higher time frame, which is super valuable, right? So looking at it from a 3-hour perspective, we can already see exhaustion. Now, one thing I want to mark off is where I have this red line. You see this? Oh, no, let me move that back. This little red line right here, we're gonna move this right here because this is where buyers kind of took control, more than likely on the 4-hour. Nope. Let's kind of move this down. This is where buyers took control over the 3-hour and the 4-hour, so around here. So ideally, this is the lowest point that we can come back to. We already starting to see forms of exhaustion, and then based on supply and demand, which if we go down to the 1-hour, we can already see that we're already starting to reject this QP area. So what I'm perceiving is that as long as buyers are able to kind of take over right along here, which I'll make in white, that we should be good for the buys, because that would be showing rejection and buyers are in control. If we look at the lowest point, we're already starting to see some form of rejections. Now, we're on this time frame, we're still in a downtrend, so what we're looking for at this moment in time is a little change of structure. Now, me looking lower, I can already tell you that, hey, the lowest point that we had already came to is right here, where buyers kind of took over on this area right here, and we just retested it. We're gonna move this a little bit higher so you guys can see, and bam, right around here. So this is the lowest point. So now I'm kind of looking at this and just kind of looking for a change of structure. Ideally, what I'm looking for now is I'm gonna draw out structure and we're gonna be patient. Ideally, what I want you guys to do is wait for a break. If we get this break of structure accordingly, we should be good to kind of ride the trend back up to the upside. We can see that lower highs and lower lows are still being maintained in this little mini counter trend, but now you can see that price is struggling, keyword struggling, to make lower lows at this point in time. We have not made a lower low lower than this overall area, so I can tell that there's some type of support being held up in this overall area, right? That's cool. You can see that right here. Once we break this area, right, I think we should be good to go. So what I'm looking for now is this 250 QP. Once this QP is broken, we can do a, where's the long tool at? We can look for buys from this area right around here, right? Now stop loss can be below this, oops, let's move that back. Stop loss can be below this QP right around here, and we can ride the wave from this zone all the way up here for 100 and something pips and get a good 1-to-4 risk to reward ratio. So let's see if we play into it. We have to break this QP and maintain support. So we need to get something along the lines of this, to where we hold this area of support, we come back, we retest, and then we just go along like this. This is one probability, right? Or we can not have momentum. We can continuously drop, right? We can drop, we can continue to make, this downtrend movement. And I'm just gonna stop it right here for one moment. Right, we're gonna pinch this a little bit, and we can drop probably to down here around this 500 area, find support, then do our little transition down here to where we break, and then we go up like this. So something along the lines of this, because based on this higher time frame bias, we could either come back down here and be at the bottom of the golden zone before we push out, or we could wake up. Ideally, we already are starting to reject right here based on the 30 minute, the 20 minute, the 15 minute, the 10 minute. And we can see here that we almost got a tested candle formality, letting us know that buyers are coming back in the market. If I look at low as the 3 minute goes, let me reset chart, we could already see that this area of support down here is being held. There's a little lower time frame demand zone that I can do, which is from body to wick within this overall area like this. And you can see that this zone is kind of being held. So based on how I see it right now, it's just a breakout. So I'm going with option A for the most part. And that's going to be the bias for this week. We're going to be patient. We're going to wait. We're going to take only high quality setups. This is your boy Drewize Banks. And thank you so much. I want you guys to please, let me stop the music. Please cheer me on this week as I go ahead and do this account build. Boom, again, wait, scan my face, not yours. Again, 67K is where I'm at. I'm really looking to kind of take this account to 100K. I've been making roughly around like 30K each week. After that, I kind of want to do a big withdrawal, go buy something and enjoy life. So let's just see. With that being said, guys, I appreciate you. It's your boy Drewize Banks, and I'm out of here. Deuces.